Welcome. I'm Master Lama Rasaji, and this is our Monday edition of Rasaji Speaks. Today is the Feast of Archangel Michael, which actually was Lucifer's older brother. Some people ask sometimes the age of Michael. Michael descended to protect Jesus's incarnation of Adam 175,000 years ago. So in Earth time, he would be around 175,000 years old. He appears a lot of time to be masculine, but when you look at the face, he'll have a feminine kind of smile. A lot of angels, most angels are androgynous, which the human race is evolving into. His function is primarily the will of God, to minister the will of God. And in the human body, he protects the governing vessel of our being. So this is why when you have a lot of will and you're beginning to do God's will, normally Michael is at your back. There's been a lot of psychics and spiritualists that have seen Michael behind Lamaji for decades, even in this lifetime. And usually I have a couple of incarnations off to my right and left. Michael is in my back, and sitting above my hand is Lord Hanuman. So it's Michael and Hanuman, and it's some strong stuff going on, to say the least. It's amazing. Michael is responsible for all of the martial artists, especially the martial artists that have high moral character and integrity. He's all about morality, character, spiritual character that Lamaji talks about. He's humble before the Almighty. He appears in the Bible over a half a dozen times in the Old and New Testament and is referred to as the chief prince. Jesus is referred to as the Prince of Peace, and Michael is referred to a lot of times as the warrior angel and that leads an army of angels. It was his little brother. If you're very familiar with the Marvel caption of the sequence of Thor, you'll know that Thor and his younger brother have that relationship, and that came into being as Thor was, with his hammer, was to represent. It's interesting that they did that because actually Hanuman's the one that travels with the hammer and the bow staff. But anyhow, says as much. It's interesting to see the Bible even influence comic heroes. But hey, whatever the children and the kids start to turn to, if it's positive, especially, that's a beautiful thing. I was an avid reader of comics when I was young. And then I went from comics into reading martial art magazines. And those were the first interests in my reading. I'm glad now that I did because it helped stimulate my imagination into a larger arena so that when I met true heroes like Babaji and Melchizedek and Gorthness, I'd be ready for it. The 18 Siddhas could be very much looked at today as comic book kind of superheroes, if you understand that. So Michael is around, his sword is around, the warrior angels are around. Never seen so many warrior angels as I have seen since the opening of the portal of Shiva 3 years ago. There's a lot more around now. Normally, when they're around, Judgment's not far away. And look, look at what the world has happened to the world in 3 short years: storms and fires and hurricanes way up in the northern hemisphere that normally, typhoons that have amazing impact, volcanoes that for hundreds of years have been to sleeping are now erupting. The energy of the portal of Shiva that was guided by Michael and his warrior angels just came down through the top of Mount Kailash, about 120 feet in diameter, gold and silver that looked like melting silver and melting gold. It was wet. That portal has now expanded to about 150 to 180, and it's doing this, opening up the earth spiritually like a lotus flower. Or what Om refers to is the jewel of the lotus, turning the earth into the jewel of the earth, lotus. Michael has a lot to do with that. Michael is a chief protector along with Hanuman for the circle of chi, for prosperity of life, and for all of our families that are associated with both. Just call on Michael and Hanuman at any time, and they're right there to help and protect the righteous over the wicked. And as we say in the Far East, I want to also give a special shout out to Bob and Esmeralda. They have set a new standard in host and hostesses for a tour event. Their hospitality is off the chart. And Mita and me and the whole Circle of Chi team, led by Brother Nate Butler, we are very graciously thankful to you guys, are really incredible servant leaders. And our heart goes out to you, and really, really thankful. So, as we say in the East, Baraka Bashide, teaching training will be back on tomorrow. Also, Master David's class tomorrow night. No music class today. Master David is still traveling and getting home safely. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday's edition of Versailles Speaks. God bless to all, each and every one.